Howdy folks, this is Checkers back again with another episode of Checkers the Khajiit Goes to the Elder Scrolls Online Elsweyr, and we are actually here in Elsweyr and we need to go meet Elsweyr Tharn in Rimmen, so I will turn it over to Checkers the Khajiit. Okay, so Elsweyr Tharn, we go to the Rimmen. Take friend and we go. There is some kind of place, there is some kind of thing chasing us. Jod's Embrace. Oh. Oh, there is next one of these Dune Rippers. Well, have no dunes. Cannot help you. Urn has lockpick. Oh, very handy. Natural water. Oh, there are things. Okay, wait, we get back onto our friend here. And we go. To meet the Tharn. There are what? Jackals. Okay, sure, why not? The Fell Runner. Something is here, Gashug. Gashug can wait. Ooh, butterfly. Okay, we go. The jackals are very concerned about something. And deer. Oh, there is something big in the distance. Like aqueduct. Maybe, which would make sense. Yes. Many of the little balls with feet. And teeth. Water skin. And lemon. Okay. Now we can make lemonade. You see? Life hands you broken wagon, you make lemonade. And we ride into the sunrise. Okay. So where do we go? We go here. To meet Elsweyr Tharn.
I expected sorrow and despair, but the situation here goes beyond even my prophetic inklings.
Are you sure? Rimmen looks peaceful to this one.
On the surface, yes. But peace through tyranny provides false harmony. Euraxia uses fear and threats of violence to keep the Khajiit in line, making them second-class citizens in their own province. It appalls me to think Euraxia and I are related.
Fear and threats of violence. What do you mean exactly?
It would be better if I showed you. Follow me and I'll demonstrate the true depths of my half-sister's villainy. Her grip on Rimmen is far tighter than it appears.
Alright, show this one how Euraxia keeps the Khajiit in line.
Very well. But what I'm about to show you isn't for the faint of heart. Follow me. Have you ever visited a Rimmen workhouse? They treat the Khajiiti workers worse than slaves. It's that building over there. For most of Rimmen's Khajiit, it's the only job available to them. The workhouse serves to snare the poor and the destitute, those who fall behind on their debts. They come here to find employment and earn a decent wage, but the costs deducted to pay for room and board leave them worse off than they were before.
The workhouse only accepts Khajiit workers?
One of the first things Euraxia did after declaring herself queen was to institute tariffs and fines that apply only to Khajiit citizens. No one else needs the workhouse. A cruel tactic, but effective.
And there's nothing the Khajiit can do?
The Rimmen Khajiit? No. Any complaints incur fines for causing a public disturbance or some other inane ordinance. No one wants to risk falling even further into debt. It's ingenious. Monstrous, but ingenious.
It sounds like slavery.
Oh, Euraxia is clever. She pays the Khajiit, and the workhouse isn't technically a prison. On the surface, it appears to be a place that helps society's unfortunates, but underneath, it's slavery without any of the uncomfortable trappings.
Let's move on.
Now, let's visit the Rimmen marketplace. Take a look around. Business seems to be thriving, but appearances can be deceiving. It may be hard to see, but the Khajiit merchants struggle to keep their stalls open, while the less bestial business people rake in the profits. Euraxia would have you believe it's a matter of work ethic, but we know better.
You're saying the Khajiit merchants are treated unfairly?
Unfairly doesn't begin to cover it. Khajiit merchants must deal with high tariffs, extra inspection fees, costly licenses. Euraxia's squeezing them for every piece of gold imaginable. She even instituted a fur tax.
A fur tax?
On the surface, it seems reasonable to make Khajiit pay for extra inspections to ensure their fur isn't getting into the products they sell. And while they do shed, it's just another way to discriminate against the rightful citizens of this land.
Oh, this one has never charged for fur. Alright, let's move on.
Come along. I want to show you the improvements Euraxia made to the palace walls. See the trebuchets? Notice how they're aimed into the city below. See how the siege weapons sit upon the walls? When it comes right down to it, you're looking at the secret of my half-sister's success.
What do you mean, her success?
How else do you think Euraxia maintains order and keeps the Elsweyr defense force at bay? She declared publicly, and has repeated often, that any attempt to liberate Rimmen will see her unleash the full fury of the siege weapons upon the city.
Euraxia would destroy the city?
If Euraxia can't have Rimmen, then neither can anyone else. She'd destroy the city in a heartbeat if she thought she was in danger of losing control. Of course, she tells her non-bestial subjects that only the Khajiit districts are targeted.
Can they really target the weapons that precisely?
Absolutely not. But the lie makes her supporters feel better. The Khajiit know that even a peaceful protest could result in the destruction of Rimmen. So far, no one has dared to challenge Euraxia's will in this matter, and for good reason.
This one thinks it's time we went and had talk with Euraxia Tharn.
When we get to the palace, let me do the talking. As the Elder Tharn, I'll demonstrate my dominance over Euraxia and negotiate a cessation of hostilities.
Well, this will go very poorly. Can feel it in the fur they would charge me for. Same to you, Torchbug.
Ah, here come Queen
What
Euraxia's
is this?
guests now.
I don't like the looks of these meddlers. I say we feed them to the dragons and be done with it.
So you're Abner Tharn's bodyguard and valet. Not what I expected. I assume you want to follow your master into the Queen's inner sanctum, huh? I'll allow it. But first, I want to gauge the measure of your marrow.
You're one of Euraxia's necromancers, yes?
I am Queen Euraxia's chief necromancer. You may call me Zumog Foom. The other grave callers answer to me. And this is my familiar and confidant, Sir Cadwell the Betrayer.
Is that Cadwell's head?
Ah, yes. The Betrayer saw you when it looked through the soul-shriven's eyes. The creature you know is a pale shadow of the dark knight that once walked these lands. I exhumed his remains and reanimated him. Well, his head, it was all I could find.
Why did you dig up Cadwell's head?
My actions don't concern you. I just wanted to meet Abner Tharn's lackey and determine if Queen Euraxia had anything to fear. The answer is quite clear. Your insignificance rivals that of the soul-shriven fool, which makes you eminently forgettable.
Okay, but your actions definitely concern this one. You're... Well, okay, whatever. You do your foom thing.
Now about the rest of my body, O pestilent one.
You're
Your
dripping
insults
blue.
won't hasten the process, betrayer.
But there's a terrible draft in what used to be my nether regions. If Queen Euraxia has you beheaded, do you mind if I lay claim to your body? It's not quite up to my usual standards, but any dagger in the spleen, wouldn't you agree?
You're Cadwell's head, eh?
I am my own head, yes. I am the hero of Sirod and the villain of Elsweyr, the champion of the Third Edict massacre and the dark knight they call the Betrayer.
You're not the Cadwell this one knows.
Of course not. I am the genuine article, much more real than a disembodied soul given shape in the flesh cauldrons of oblivion. But why do you presume to talk to me? I have killed greater beings than you for much, much less.
What are you going to do, headbutt me? You're the betrayer mentioned on the gravestone, yes?
Came to that conclusion by yourself, did you? That's what they called me. It has a certain ring to it, but I always preferred my more grandiose titles. Champion, Slayer, Dark Knight. When I am made whole, the cats will pay for what they did to me.
Yeah, keep talking. You are small ball to be played with. Goodbye.
Presenting Abner Tharn, Grand Chancellor and Overlord of Nibene, Imperial Battle Mage of the Elder Council, and Patriarch of the Tharn Dynasty, and his bodyguard.
Ah, half-brother. Your arrival, it's so unexceptional.
Pretending to be a queen
Hush, Abner, you bore me. Bodyguard, you look interesting. Come talk to me.
You heard her. Good luck.
What if I get fur on her?
My sources indicated that my half-brother's associate was somewhat taller. Oh well. Now, why in the world should I even consider negotiating with members of the losing side?
We came to warn you. The dragons consider you a puppet and they plan to betray you.
A warning? How thoughtful. You do know that I defeated the Khajiit army and took control of the Rimmen throne? I am no one's puppet, I assure you. But why do you suppose I have anything to do with dragons?
There is no need to play games with this one. Mulamnir admitted your alliance when we spoke. What? Well, a dragon helped the undead your necromancers unleashed on the Khajiit Defense Force.
Oh, how precious. I hoped my pompous half-brother would provide an amusement, But this is even better! I have a chamber set aside in the dungeons just for you. We'll play the most interesting games, you and I, until your body gives out.
Well, if you buy dinner first. You know, you did agree to this parley, which means we are here under truce and free to leave.
Do not presume to lecture me. I make the rules here, not you or Abner. I have a special relationship with Mulamnir, an understanding.
Okay. Didn't
the
ask.
dragons will secure my hold over Elsweyr, and there's nothing you or my half-brother can do to stop them.
This would be an inaccurate assumption. You really can't win. We will free Rimmen and drive you out of Elsweyr. Well, probably kill you.
Enough! Zumog Foom, what news do you bring?
The Desert Wind Adaptorium has fallen. We move against Riverhold on your word.
Then the word is given. Now, half-brother.
Treachery? How could I ever have anticipated this?
Guards, take them to the dungeons.
I think not.
Rimmen Palace recesses, eh? Originally built to provide maintenance access to its freshwater sanitation system, and then expanded into storage, wine cellars, and game rooms. Not sure what the last part was. Abner!
Well, I suppose that could have gone better.
About as expected. Where are we and how did we get here?
I prepared for Euraxia's probable betrayal. Unfortunately, my teleport spell wasn't quite able to penetrate the palace wards, so we wound up down here, in the palace sewer.
Did you hear what Euraxia said to Zumog Foom?
We heard two things of note. First, Euraxian forces have invaded the Desert Wind Adaptorium for some insidious purpose. And second, my vile half-sister ordered an attack on Riverhold.
Then we need to warn Garashri.
One thing at a time, my companion, one thing at a time. I need to recover my strength after teleporting us into this skeever hole. I'll need your help to get out of here. Then we can deal with both Desert Wind and Riverhold.
Alright, stay close. We go. We go. There is Sandroch. Okay. Have sand everything. Sand skeever? No. Only normal skeever. Okay. What was this sound? More skeevers. Just a mud crab hanging out. More skeevers. Less skeevers. Oh, salamander. Well, no, too late. Okay. We go. Oh, here is where we go. Okay, must have taken some kind of wrong turn. No, it says we go this way. How we go this way? Not through here. Oh. You see, this is what happens when you don't pay attention. And we take apple. Okay. The electric skeever parade is starting. Okay. Well, they are spread pretty well.
Trapped in the sewer, just as the Queen anticipated.
Okay. Thank you for playing. What we have here? Apple. Bottle has honey. Where did this card go? It was right there. Okay, Tharn. Go get them. This one will watch. Critique performance. Well, everyone is being very boring. We go. Okay. Thanking you for your business.
The way out, finally. I can't abide another moment in this stench.
You brought us here. Okay. Barn.
Well, that's an experience I won't be adding to my memoirs. We'll separate here. Make it harder for Euraxia's lackeys to follow us.
Well, we did not do so well. The parley was fairly disastrous.
Now. Things actually turned out better than I expected. We know that Euraxia wants something from the Desert Wind Adaptorium, and we know she's about to launch a counter-strike against Riverhold.
There's no way this one can be in two places at the same time. Well, normally.
That's not exactly true. If my power wasn't depleted... Well, let's not digress. I'll go to Riverhold and warn Garishri. We'll make sure the city is ready for the attack. Meanwhile, you find out what's happening at the Desert Wind Adaptorium.
What is the Desert Wind Adaptorium, and where does this one find it?
Adaptoriums serve the same function as monasteries in other parts of Tamriel. Desert Wind and its adepts follow the order of Jean Kaj. It's west of here, on the northern lip of the scar. Look for a side entrance if the main door is blocked.
Alright, this one will go to the Desert Wind Adaptorium. We go. It was more quiet of day when this one started. But things do not last. They never do. Okay. So, good thing we can escape through town held by enemy.
Sure as bones. Rigert knew he should have brought more mead.
Oh, there's a little waterfall and the shrine. Oh, there's little person up here. What you have?
Who wouldn't want such a cozy little home? You have a look about you. Some sort of quality that's rare to find. And trust me, I'm never wrong about these sort of things. Can I interest you in a room at the local inn? Actually, wait, that came out wrong.
A room at the local inn?
Look, empty rooms are just bad for business. The upkeep alone costs me more than the place is worth. But I think we can come to a sort of arrangement. And not the sort of arrangement that involves a few drinks. Let me be clear about that.
What sort of arrangement?
I need someone to improve the reputation of my properties. A hero type who people look up to. And I have a feeling about you. You've done something great and are probably on the way to do something greater. Seems like we can help each other here.
Okay, this one is interested. What are the details?
Yeah, all right. Details. I can see how this might be a bit sketchy, but don't worry. The inn room is well kept, conveniently located. I know you adventuring types wanting a home in every town. This would be a nice addition to your holdings.
There has to be a catch. What is it?
No catch. I just need someone to freshen up my image. And my gut tells me you're the one to do that. As long as you're not planning on turning it into a skooma den or an outlaw's refuge, the room is all yours.
Okay, you know, we could bob your hair maybe you know, shortened sleeves, something. Oh, you mean image of the place? Yes. Within legal reason, what can this one do with the place?
Oh, sure. You can set up some crafting stations, house your pets, display any treasures or trophies you've come upon in your adventures. Hey, you can even set up a target dummy to practice combat. Just don't demolish the place and we're good.
All right, this one accepts your offer.
Excellent. You won't regret this decision, I swear. Here's the deed and key to the room. Took me a while, but I finally was able to take them back from the last tenant. Required more time in the sewers than I had hoped for, but hey, that's business.
Okay, with the haircut, we could also maybe find you bath someplace. Thanking you very much.
Hope the room is to your liking. With your reputation, I'm sure you shouldn't have any trouble with the neighbors. If you do, remember death threats are not the way to go. Had a spot of trouble when my last tenant started sending those out.
What about turning them into zombies? Anything else this one should keep in mind?
Nope, just make yourself at home. Spruce things up a bit. Honestly, I can't wait to see how you arrange the place. Hopefully you'll end up with a few less Daedric shrines than another former tenant of mine. Like 0. 0's a good number.
Of course, this one does not even worship Daedra.
Oh, what a relief. I can't tell you how hard it is to wash bloodstains off of cobble floors. But that's not even the worst of it. I've had tenants cram their rooms with the wildest things. Mounts, foliage, assistants. I mean, it's an in-room.
So you own this place?
I own this and several other properties throughout Tamriel. It pays to diversify. Of course, that means I've got to look out for a variety of troubles, too. But hey, no one ever said the real estate business was easy.
Alrighty then. Goodbye, Philand. Now we have place. Sugar Bowl Sweet Housing. Those seeking a respite from the heat and bustle of Rimmen's crowded streets can find it in this cozy suite. Easy access to Rimmen's amenities, both legal and illicit, make this the perfect abode for adventurers on the go. Okay, so we have place. Maybe we'll spend some time fixing it up before the next adventure, and we'll pause journey here, maybe a little bit early, maybe not, hard to say. For the moment, this one would like to say thank you for joining on journey. Would like to hope that you found it entertaining, maybe even just a little bit informative. Would like to invite you to subscribe to Checkers the Human, and thank you kindly if you are already subscribed. Would also like to invite you to like and share if you so desire. Most of all though, would like to ask you to please take care.